What's up, guys? It's Josh from Cardfight Empire here today with our resident professional sleeper deck user that everyone has had their eyes on this weekend, that everyone's been going crazy about, and I'm gonna let him introduce himself a little further.
Alright. So hi guys on here. I met a lot of you guys at regionals. If probably were watching this. Yeah, a lot of people are bugging me because I am playing the Hari deck. I am the random guy that probably everyone has heard of. Um, that topped recently. Not quite sure how it happens, but the deck seemed to do really well against the meta right now. And so I'm just here interviewing, gonna help you guys out with some advice if you're wondering.
Awesome, awesome. Well, did you want to talk a little bit about the event, how you thought it was run, and if you enjoyed yourself, especially with the last minute switches between Jacksonville and Atlanta, threw a lot of people off.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a change. I'm from Orlando, so the Jacksonville one was a lot more convenient. But I wasn't unhappy. The CNN Center was a really good place to go. I'd actually wouldn't mind going there again. I feel like it was a big enough area for everyone. But me and my team didn't mind. We were having to get a hotel anyway, and Bushro did a really, really good job at giving a heads up soon enough, so that way everyone could change. I was very pleased with the event, though. I would say that the judges were very well organized. They knew exactly what they're doing. I didn't have any issues. I think the only issue that happened at the event was with top eight, when a player got in that wasn't supposed to. But they got right on that. They fixed it as soon as possible. And someone who plays Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff like that, I'm very happy with Bush Road. I think they did an amazing job at this event, and I
Right.
would definitely give them a 10 out of 10.
Someone used to like Konami in their ways.
Yeah, Bush Road definitely cares a lot more about their players.
Definitely, definitely. I definitely agree. What do you want to talk about a little bit about why you played Pale Moon or like how you decided to come upon the Sleeper Legend deck?
Well, it wasn't originally planned. Originally, I was supposed to play Domination and a good deck for the meta right now. Butcher Road handed out these little pins at the start of the day, which is the one I'm wearing right now. My really good friend Evan, that's on my team, pulled the Pale Moon one, and it's like it's a sign that you should play it. So to be honest, I just picked up the deck. It's my favorite deck. I just started playing it, and it worked out well at the end. And I was very surprised. It goes around a lot of the decks right now in the meta. Not Luard so much. That one's kind of hard, but it does really well against Kagero as well as Narakamis and stuff like that. Especially Domination, you see a lot of those. It gets around that. But I was very happy how the deck came out. Like I said, it's my favorite deck, so any chance to use it, I take the advantage of it.
And awesome, and that's another thing that I was just talking to Ed about is I think it's important and card fight to as the game goes longer and we get more of a card pool. It's very important for these like ace players of their said clan to come out of the windworks or the woodworks or come out of hiding or so to speak, just so that they can show their skills and their dominance and their mastery over these clans that they love and so much. And I think that really helps players like Top when they know a deck as well.
100%. I agree with you. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a card game, so everyone wants to play the meta. But I mean, if you're not having fun, if you're not playing what you like, then you're honestly wasting your time, is what I like to believe. For example, the guy out there who could have Dark Face without the new support, I mean, go ahead and play the deck. If it's what you love, if it's your clan, then just I believe you should just go for it.
Agreed, agreed. And I think that like with a couple exceptions, I think there is always a way to, especially in Vanguard, more so as other games like Yu-Gi-Oh, where there is definitely like a top deck and you will get crushed by it
Yeah,
unrelentingly. You
yeah.
won't really get crushed unrelentingly by any deck in Vanguard. You at least have like a couple turns of leeway with the early game and the mid game and the late game. And no matter what deck you're playing, you kind of get to live through all of those phases. Whereas,
Yes.
kind of like in Yu-Gi-Oh, like I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh as well, so I know like in Yu-Gi-Oh, like it's kind of like you roll the die, whoever gets high roll.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm
Yep.
gonna smash your face in now.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a two-turn game.
right.
Vanguard, I feel like I said any deck is playable. Even something like Luard with a card like Diablo, they've done a really good job of giving Pale certain G guards and stuff, so you can kind of play around it. We also have cards such as Piranha, which was used a lot this weekend. As much as I personally hate that card, it was used so I didn't die to Luard. Yeah, Butcher does a really good job at making every clan playable in this game right now. I mean, there is meta, of course. Example, Bow Owl for Luard or Battle Sister is great too that lets him draw. That, yes, it's definitely better to play those cards, but I believe, honestly, if you just practice enough, any deck out there can make it the top eight.
Agreed, definitely. So do you want to head up into your matchups and talk about kind of like
Yeah.
what you thought about those during your day?
So I kind of So I kind of wrote down some of the more important matchups that I had. I guess I'll just start the day off. I got against a friend rear player, which I'm surprised. I figured a lot of people switched to Amaruta. I feel like the Wise Man loop right now is kind of just dying out in the meta. A lot of people liked it at first, but it's not consistent enough, so they switched. But Pales honestly does really good against Genesis, due to the fact that they do have some sort of hand advantage here or there, but the high numbers are just way too much for them to handle after a certain amount of time, and they can't keep up with it. That's why they have to try to go for the Wise Man. And at that point, too, that deck's just kind of fading off with more Kagurus in there. If you get Denial Griffin, it's over. Played three Gears matchups, which I should have figured that one. ZTPs everywhere. One of them was my teammate Noah, probably the best Gears player I've ever met. With that matchup, honestly, for the Pale Moon players out there, it honestly just comes to who gets their combo pieces better. ZTP is a better deck, I'm going to be honest, than Pale Moons are, but if you just try to get those cutie paratroopers and stuff, you'll be fine. If I want to go to my hard matchups, again, I'm going to say this probably 5 times. Luard, it's just, they have Diablo, they have Strider. It's really hard for you. I'd recommend, if you could, run 2 of the Fighters Collection G-Guards for my Pale Moon players out there. I know it's annoying because you won't be able to G-Guard the rest of the game, but it's a way around it. But yeah, the rest of the day, I've honestly kind of just had good matchups. I played against Kagero and Domination, which it's not fun for them because they don't really have a way around it, especially when you get towards the top tables. Nobody expects to play a Pale Moon player, so when they flip over their starting Vanguard and they're playing Kagero and they see a Pale Moon. One guy I played in my 6th round, I believe, who ended up making the top 8. Amazing Kagero player, but like I said, at the end of the match, he told me it's just I didn't expect that. There's something to do. But yeah, a lot of people don't think Hari can make it. But against the meta right now, it's honestly fine. As long as you're not playing against Luard, you have a chance. And you actually have a lot of counters you wouldn't believe in.
Yeah, I definitely agree. There's a lot of times where players will, like the Kagero player, Brian said, you know, uh, there's a lot of times where you just flip your opponent flips their
Hmm.
Vanguard, and it's kind of like a mind screw. Like it starts messing with
Yeah.
people as soon as it happens, and like it's like a thing that I myself really don't um, put into practice, I guess. But like a lot of people will do the thing where they'll put like, let's say like Asha sleeves on their Link Joker deck or
Yep.
something like that, and so like player sits down, they're like, okay, Asha sleeves, like they might be playing Asha, Asha might be their favorite clan. Then they flip it as like Link Joker, and they're like, oh no, like Link Joker, like or
Yep.
whatever, like. I guess it just depends on what the matchup means to you personally, because a lot of people have like past experiences with the clan that has like affected their way of thinking with it, which is why a lot of people went crazy over you playing Pale Moon because people were
Yeah.
like, "What? Pale Moon's trash," you know?
Yeah, it's a lot of people go there. I've one time played against a guy who was dressed up as a pirate and he flipped it over and it was an over grappler deck. You just don't see it. Almost every single one of my rounds though at regionals, as funny as it is, I would sit down. I had the Rummy Labyrinth sleeves, Rummy Labyrinth mat, Hari sleeves. I'd have the keychain. They're like, okay, this guy's obviously not playing Pale Moons, and they'd flip it over and they'd be like, he actually is playing this deck. How does he even here right now?
Right,
So
exactly.
yeah, I mean, the mind games does hurt a lot of times, like especially with your opening hand. You don't. I mean, in Vanguard, it's always counting the 1, 2, 3, but a lot of people change their opening hand sometime. But yeah, when you don't expect to play against Pales, especially if you're playing Kagero, you're like, well, you just it's too late. Once you flip it over, you're just kind of like, what's his name, Brian, top 8. He's an
Hmm.
amazing Kagero player. I've seen him throughout the day. I kind of just like to watch some other players. He was amazing. I talked to him after a game, and he's like you said, there's really nothing you can do against that. I mean, Deaconberg, but I have a G guard that calls 5 cards on board. At that point, you're just minusing too much. So, and with domination too in a matchup I went against, it's too much resources to try to in order to get your deck to go off properly. So I think that's why Pale Moons did honestly so well this weekend. It just counters a lot of things in the meta that aren't Luard.
Fair enough. So do you want to, I guess, like talk a little bit more about your deck that did so well?
Yeah, I mean, I've actually gotten a lot of people asking me about it too because I don't play it. Unlike other people who run cards such as Card Dealer Jacqueline and Betty, which get multi attacks off, I run my deck more on a consistency sort of build. I'll kind of move my laptop camera down to help show some people.
Okay.
Uh, a card that I run that a lot of people do not like to run, some people just go with the 12 crits, is the stand trigger. Uh, I know it's weird, it stands, it's going to miss timing and pale moons. The reason why its card is so important, though, is, again, consistency when you can search for cards such as Cutie Paratrooper, which is your main card of the deck. Pretty much, if you look at any Pale Moon deck, especially the Hari deck online, they're all kind of just cookie cutter copy paste. But there is some tech-ins around. Like I said, I know you guys don't like it, but if there's any Hari players out there, I just super recommend you try the stand trigger out for your deck. It helps. Another grade one you don't see a lot of people run is this one. We're in a meta right now where people prefer to ride a grade 2 over a grade 2 and don't want to get to a grade 3, so your opponent strides first. So sometimes you'll just surprise them. You'll just ride a grade 3 right away. You'll call this card out, and this card lets you rush the hell out of your opponent, and you can't really cover against that. So once you get on the 5, most of it's kind of just a staple. Another misplay I like this, or I see a lot of Hari's players do. I know this is a free Hari, the new one, but the old one is 100% better just because even though it is a counterblast, you do get your numbers off. A big issue is we need the Hari promo that Bushiroad has released. So until then, you honestly don't have that many good plays for your first try. You're playing more of a survival game until you can get to your big plays. But hopefully with the new promo, we will see this deck a lot more in the meta. I honestly think the deck is going to move its way up the ladder with the promo. It's that important to me. So we're going to move over to the Stride deck. The Stride deck is pretty simple. You got your basic G guards, such as the Fighter's Collection G guards. Really good against the Luard matchup. You get your Seabreeze, which you use against every match in the game right now, as well as you have your Mephistos. Like I said, not really much special to my deck. Every Hari deck you look at is pretty much the same. That's really honestly all I can show you. If you want to, I have other videos for you or you can look up Hunter Sears on Facebook and feel free to message me. But I would go through this sort of video to learn more about tips and stuff like that. And that's pretty much all I have to say about my deck. It's not too special compared to other ones. The Pale Moons doesn't really have that many different tech-ins that make it different. But a few cards can win you the match, so.
Definitely agree. So it's just, it's very, very, I guess people will try to think about how they can make like a deck good, and like the answer is really just like look at the meta, look what you can do to kind of like counter it, or look what you can do to fight it, or how can you fight this matchup, how can you fight this matchup. And even though you might have like just kind of picked up the deck because your friend was like, oh, like you should play Pale Moon, like even so you still had it like fitted to the meta.
Like I said, it is my favorite deck, so it's like I constantly play it, and I just said, hey, if I want to have a chance to get top 8, I guess I'll play Domination, but at the last second, I'm just like, you know what, I'm just going to play what I'm familiar with, the deck I feel like I'm best with, and ended up coming really in handy. But it's a lot of cards people don't expect the change, especially, like I said, that grade 1 Dagger. A lot of ZTP players will stay at grade 2 game. They don't have that grade 2 game, but they have that Tiger everyone's running, which is a very annoying card. It's just a way to counter against it. Pale Moons have a lot of cards that people actually know are cards, so a lot of the times during the regionals, people would pick up my cards, read it, and be like, I didn't even know that existed. Right. So with Pale Moons, you honestly just have the advantage of your opponent having no idea what your deck did. Such as me striding Mephisto first turn, a lot of people would tell me, oh, so your deck just gets really big power, and then you go into Hari Stride next turn, proceed to attack 5 times, and they're like, oh, I didn't see that one coming. So you just have the element of surprise. It came very in handy during the tournament.
Well, awesome. Definitely, obviously, it put in a lot of work for you. It showed its results. You were definitely praised
very happy.
highly by a lot of players that I know.
Yeah.
And I respect. So definitely you have my respect as a player.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And I know I talked to you during the event because I was kind of like watching your game. I especially watched your your day 2 round 1 against Matthew, because Matthew's from my locals, and
that wasn't a good match.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do anything against the 5 triggers on next stage.
Yeah, it was pretty strong, pretty ridiculous. I think I walked away and came back, and it was like the 51K with the stand trigger. I was like, Oh
Yeah,
my
I'm not saying that's
gosh.
why he's an amazing player. He has
Yeah.
all my respect. He's really good at this game. But yeah, when he got that, he's like, "I'm sorry, dude." I'm like, "It's the game." I every time I got a
Right.
trigger, I give him a nice high five every single time.
Yeah, I
It
saw the
was
high fives
yeah.
too.
You gotta have fun with it, man. If you get too salty, you're not enjoying the game. That's all it comes down to. But yeah, it honestly has made me very happy. Getting up to the top tables with Hari. A lot of people just came by and they're like, "How is this deck here?" Or especially when people say just props for it, it makes me very happy because it's my favorite clan, so it makes me feel like I'm doing something important.
Right,
Um,
and like I told Ed,
but
it's like a big achievement to take like a sleeper deck and kind of become the person that's known for
yep.
being able to do that.
Yeah, I was hanging out with Ed, who you also interviewed. Yeah, he's a really good friend of mine. I see him almost every single weekend, if not twice a week. And we're sitting there with our two decks. People are like, "How are these two decks here?" And we're looking at each other and we're like, "It's just our favorite deck." So we tried it and it worked. Like I said, though, same with Ed. I just feel like people don't expect the decks they play against. Everyone expects meta, so they build their deck around it. But when you just play a rogue deck like that, there's not really much you can do to it, especially if you don't know the matchup.
Mm. Definitely agreed. Agreed. Do you have any shout outs that you wanted to give?
I guess the most important shout outs I want to give is to my friend Evan and Noah, who talked me into playing the deck. They're my two teammates on Team Easily Distracted. They mean everything to me. They're super nice. I couldn't ask for more. Also, shout out to my girlfriend, Chaos City Cosplay. She cosplays Luna from Vanguard,
Okay.
so we have kind of a pale moon household. So she told me she's like, "All right, you can do it with the deck," and then she sent me pictures of her as Luna. It was cute and helped motivate me. And also shout out to you guys for I've never really done an interview, so you guys are my first ones.
Awesome, awesome. Well, yeah, it's just me here at the Empire, but but yeah, definitely we enjoyed having you on. Definitely look forward to some
Thank you.
achievements that you can achieve in the future. Hopefully, you'll keep going with Pale Moon. I think next year has some support for you coming. A Harry
Promo.
Stride, I think.
Please promo. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's so
So
bad.
you guys definitely have some things headed on the way, so hopefully you'll be able to take that and take your game to the next level, and hopefully we'll, see you at the top tables again, and or see you at first place. That would be amazing.
I'll
So
try.
yeah, so definitely we'll keep in contact with you, and definitely thank you for being on the channel today.
Thank you guys too.
Awesome, awesome. Well, with that being said, guys, that has been our interview with our fourth place Pale Moon player, Sleeper Deck from the Atlanta Regionals. If you guys liked the video, like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment down below letting me know what you thought. Check out the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or Patreon. And with that being said, this has been Cardfight Empire, and I'll see you guys on the next video.